Recording.
He'd be like, "Hey, sexy, what are you doing?" And then I'd be like, nothing, just laying in bed." He'd be like, "Oh, are you alone?" And I'd be like, "Yeah." And he'll be like, "So what are you doing?" And I'm just like, "I'm just laying in bed." And I'd be like, "What are you doing?" And he'll be like, "Oh, I'm just touching myself." And then I'd go along with it, and so I'd be like, "Really?" And he'd be like, "Yeah, how about you go and touch yourself?" And I'd be like,
That's so
be like,
awkward
what?
to say.
Be like, what do you? He'd be like, what? I was like, "What do you want me to think about?" He's like, "Pretend it's my dick." And I was like, "Oh," and I was playing along, so I was like, "Okay." And
You're such an asshole.
That's so awkward.
And she'd be like, "I wish it was you jerking me off."
Girl, I've been there.
And
I had the same conversation.
And then he'd like type in a little thing like, "Today when I saw your boobs look so good, you made me hard."
Right?
And I'd be like, "Oh, you know how I do."
You better
I
play ultimate.
Girl, work.
So,
Work.
and then there'd be occasional time where he'd like say something like, "I want to fuck you so bad," and then I'd be like, "What? What did you say?" And he'd be like,
I'm sorry,
he'd be
you
like,
mumbled.
"Never mind. And I'd be like, "Oh, okay."
One time.
Or I'd try to get out and be like, "No, just tell me. And he'd be like, "You're sexy." And I'd be like, "Oh, thanks."
Like, I know.
No.